In previous videos, I talked about how to make pasta dough and roll out pasta dough. In this video, we're going to go over how to make a roasted sweet potato agnolotti, which is the little pasta at the very top of the screen. All I've done so far is I've taken a plain sweet potato, I put it into a pan and roasted it until it is very soft inside. You can see in the pan the natural sugars from inside the potato start to leak out, and that's what we're looking for. The potato has to be really soft. I've given it a little bit of time to cool off so I can work with it. With a paring knife, I'm going to peel the outside of the potato off, and you can see that beautiful sugar in the bottom of the potato. So I keep peeling until all of the potato skin is off. After it's roasted, it comes right off. It's not hard to peel at all. I'm going to get rid of my potato skin. I'm going to get rid of the pan, but you can see all that nice sugar there in the pan. It's really, really nice. I get rid of the pan. I'm going to put my sweet potato into a bowl. To the sweet potato, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Maybe a little more salt than that. There we go. Some fresh ground black pepper. And this was one of my first videos ever, so I was learning that I needed to pull the spices and stuff towards the more of the center of the counter, so I apologize for not having that centered. That's Vietnamese cinnamon, which is really strong. So a little bit of cinnamon. This isn't going to be a sweet dish, though, so I want to maintain the integrity of the sweet potato. That is some ginger, some Chinese ginger. Is really strong, so just a little bit of that in there. Maybe a little more. Ginger and sweet potatoes are delightful together. A little bit of olive oil. A very small amount of nutmeg, like a whisper, just a little bit. Nutmeg has a tendency to overpower everything if it's overused, so just a little bit of nutmeg. I'm also going to add some cayenne pepper, some ground cayenne pepper to it. Again, just a little pinch of that. I don't want it to be spicy, but just a little bit of spice to go along with those other spices. And then using a whisk, I'm going to mash all of this together so I have a really nice, like a puree or a mash of sweet potatoes. So mash, 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 whisk, whisk, whisk. No funny stories about this, just mix it all together. And then you want to taste it to make sure it tastes good. Add some more salt or other spices if needed. I think that tastes pretty good though. Maybe a little more salt. Okay, there's always the room for a little more salt. Maybe. Maybe a little more cinnamon. A little more olive oil. Whisk that back together. And there I have it. I have my sweet potato mash, that are puree, that is going to go into my agnolotti filling. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that filling and going to put it into a disposable pastry bag with a plain tip. I don't show that in the video, but that's what's going to happen. Now I have my pasta dough sheet that I showed in the first clip. I have taken that pastry bag and piped a line of the sweet potato filling into a piece of the rolled out pasta dough. You'll notice here that I have left a little bit on the end of each side. Going forward, what I would do is I would leave a little bit more on the right hand side of a little bit of a gap, because that's going to be essential in forming this agnolotti. So I've piped a little line of this sweet potato puree. This next slide, you'll see that what I'm doing is I'm rolling that pasta around the sweet potato filling. And then as I roll around here, in the next slide, you'll see that I continue to roll. I would also brush some of that. What's dusted on the counter is semolina flour. I would take a dry pastry brush and brush some of that excess semolina flour off of the pasta as I'm rolling it. So in this video, I try to get a different shot. What I'm doing is I'm continuing to roll. What I would do differently next time is I would only crimp one side and then work towards shaping in agnolotti, leaving one side not crimped. You'll see that I'm taking my thumb and it looks like it's a big gap in between, but you're going to need all of that space because we're going to cut in between each one of those gaps and form our agnolotti that way. Once you get down to the very end, you're gonna finally crimp that, and then we're gonna make a nice straight line here. You'll see that during my camera production, my line I didn't feel was a little bit was not straight enough, so I went back there and fixed it. I'm gonna separate the agnolotti by cutting them into sections. And it's important that you lightly dust the work surface with semolina flour because your agnolotti, as you're shaping it, will stick to the counter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to crimp the ends of the agnolotti on both sides. And there you have it. I have my nice little pillows stuffed with sweet potatoes. Same thing, and I'll continue on. You can use really any sort of filling for this. You can make a seafood mousseline or a chicken mousseline. You could fill them with cheese. It's kind of a blank slate. You can fill it with whatever you'd like to fill it with. That's the end outcome. I have a video on that one coming up next. So that's a sweet potato agnolotti with a crispy andouille sausage, honey glazed walnuts, and arugula, and a little bit of shaved Parmesan. That's our next video. Thanks for watching.